Xylitol and erythritol are two different forms of sugar alcohols, and that's a very bad name for them because it's very confusing. We're going to talk about what they are and which one I prefer. Now, those of you who follow our channel regularly and consume our products from Addictive Wellness will probably already know which one I prefer, but even if you do, keep watching because I think there's going to be something for everyone to learn in this episode. So, xylitol and erythritol, as I said, are two different forms of sugar alcohols. Now, these are neither sugars nor alcohols. It's, in my opinion, a very poorly worded name for them, but we don't have a better name thus far. Now, these are found in many natural sources. For example, something like xylitol you find naturally occurring in strawberries, in raspberries, in schizandra berry, in mushrooms, in cauliflower. But then commonly we see these isolated to be used as sweeteners in other foods. So are these good for you? Well, generally indications point to yes. There may be the occasional situation in which you have to temporarily avoid it for a couple of different very specific health conditions. But pretty much any food is not going to be perfect for 100% of people 100% of the time. Now, xylitol can be made from two different sources. Xylitol can be made, well, many sources it can be made from, I should say, but there's two that it's primarily made from in the modern world, which is either birch trees or corn. Now, I avoid the corn form of xylitol generally because it is too much of a concern for me that it could be contaminated, that it could be genetically modified, that it's probably, if it's not certified organic, going to have been sprayed with Roundup and glyphosate. That's not something that I want to put in my body. However, when you get it like we do from organic birch trees, that is a much cleaner source that you don't have to worry about, oh, has there been some spray from the GMO crops next door? Is this actually a GMO corn that's being made from? Even if it's not a GMO corn, is it being sprayed with glyphosate? No, this is birch trees. They're a completely different category and something that you can get amazing xylitol from. The other option is erythritol. This is generally just made from corn cobs. And that's the big reason why I don't generally use erythritol. Well, there's a couple more, but that's the main one. And that's because the GMO contamination and the Roundup contamination concern is too high for my personal liking. The other thing is that they have different flavors and different levels of sweetness, whereas xylitol is pretty much on par in its levels of sweetness compared to regular sugar. Erythritol is not quite as sweet, and erythritol also has a different flavor profile to it that's more of headed in the direction of slightly tart sour, whereas xylitol is a really clean and almost a little bit like cold minty kind of a hint to it. So they go off in different directions flavor-wise, and for a lot of the things that I like to make, xylitol flavor-wise is a much better flavor combination. And interestingly, xylitol is something that has a lot of fairly well-studied health benefits. So, for example, it has a positive effect on gut bacteria, and there's also research showing positive effects on bone health, and then also many other studies looking at positive effects on infections in children, combating candida, which is why I first got into using it, because I created this chocolate that we sell now as I was on my own healing path from candida after 5 years of daily antibiotics. It helps to feed actually friendly bacteria in the gut. It improves collagen production and can even reduce the risk of osteoporosis. And the other factor here with xylitol is that it is a biofilm dissolver. What are biofilms? These are these films that get secreted by bad bacteria living in the body that essentially act like invisibility cloaks to protect them from your immune system. Your immune system can't see that they're there to go after them, but while they're protected like that, they're still doing all their naughty business in your body, and you're suffering because of it. When you have something like xylitol, or like, for example, serrapeptase, a great systemic enzyme that acts as a biofilm dissolver, you dissolve that biofilm and expose that bad bacteria to your immune system, and then it can go after it and properly attack, and you end up feeling a lot better in the long run. So these are two different sweeteners. I have always chosen to go with xylitol as my preferential choice. There's a lot of people that use erythritol in their products, and as long as it's a really clean erythritol, that's okay. There are some certified organic erythritols where I would feel more comfortable with it, and it would feel to me like it's on par safety-wise and purity-wise with like a birch xylitol. However, I still don't like it as much flavor-wise. And it's funny, Ana Blanca always loves this story. It's about 5 years ago or so, maybe 4 years ago, somewhere around there. We were at a health conference, and the CEO of, I think, one of, if not the biggest erythritol companies in America came up and was talking to me. And they do erythritol combined with monk fruit in an interesting way where they call it a monk fruit product, but it's more than 99% erythritol. But that's, a story for another time. And his pitch to me was, you should use our sweetener, our erythritol sweetener, in your product instead of xylitol. You would save so much money. And I just smiled and I said, with all due respect, you're talking to the wrong guy. You got the wrong guy. I get excited to spend more money when it means that I can have higher quality ingredients. Another one of Ana Blanca's favorite stories is when I came home one day and I said, I found the best new ashwagandha. I can't wait to start using this in our products. And it costs 4 times as much as the one that we currently use. And we still use that ashwagandha to this day, and it's amazing. I get pumped about having the absolute best quality products. I don't take price into consideration when I'm procuring the best ingredients. All I care about is this the best? And that's what I'm going to use. So that's just a funny little anecdote there. I hope it put a smile on your face. If you guys learned anything new in this video, or if you laughed a little bit, do me a favor, leave us a like below and put a comment below. Let me know what your favorite is between xylitol and erythritol. Or maybe you have a completely different sweetener. Maybe you like to, maybe you prefer to use stevia as your choice of sugar-free sweetener. Let me know what's your favorite. And please do subscribe to our channel. It supports us more than you can possibly imagine. And we love being on this journey of health and happiness with you guys. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. Have a great day and look forward to seeing you again next time.